Good morning. Thanks for joining us on ABC 6 News. Good morning. It's 6 a.m. now on your Thursday, December 31st, last day of the year, and we're ending 2015 on a little bit of a cold note.
Yeah, look at these morning temperatures. There's quite a difference across the region. 9 in Owatonna and Forest City right now, while it's 19 in Preston. The biggest difference, of course, is clouds, and we're going to touch on what's happening out there coming up on the weather on the 6s. But really, when we're starting out this cold, I think it's redundant for me to say, make sure you bundle up today. It's going to be one of the coldest days we've seen in almost 10 months.
That's a life that I don't want back and that I would never want to see anybody have.
Changes are coming to drug sentencing. Well, it finally looks like winter with all the snow we have now, and now it's starting to feel like it as well. Meteorologist Cindy Morgan is in this morning with what might be the coldest day in nearly 10 months. Cindy, what kind of temperatures are we talking about?
Well, we're going to look for highs in the teens today. Our coldest day was March 5th. At 9 degrees, almost 10 months ago. And then immediately after that, several days, we warmed up to the 50s. Now, we are not going to do that kind of temperature swing for ourselves this month, but we are looking at, of course, another brisk start to the morning and a very cold end for us. Look at these temperatures. They're very different across the region. 20s around the Mississippi River Valley area, and cooler we get as you head down I-90 off towards Fairmont and Worthington. What's the difference here? Cloud cover. We've got clouds hanging on to some warmer temperatures that we gained yesterday, keeping some of that warmth in over the eastern side, where we've cleared out over the west, and that's allowing all that warmth from yesterday to escape the atmosphere and cool off those temperatures. So that cloud line will continue to pull eastward. We'll start off with some clouds, but the rest of us will all join sunshine later today. 17 around noon, and we'll be back at 13 at 5 o'clock, setting ourselves up for a very brisk midnight when that ball drops. We're going to talk more about those temperatures coming up here shortly.
Thank you, Cindy. Still ahead.
You're watching ABC 6 News, the first television station in Minnesota designated as a storm-ready supporter by the National Weather Service.
Well, we'll start off a little something for the kids this morning. Make sure if they're heading outside, you first of all bundle them up. It is going to be rather cool, but do send them outside. We've got some fresh snow on the ground, obviously, from earlier on this week, and with no more snow chances in the immediate forecast, it's going to be a little while before we see anything else again. But snowmen and snow fort are starting to get a little better to build just because that snow is compacting, so it's easier to squish all that snow together, get it to stick. Sledding a little more sticky, but still in good shape and condition as well. So we've been very warm this month, and really we've only had several days where we can say that we've been at or below average temperatures. When we put all these temperatures together, we run some numbers and we come up with these here. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to track where we rank for our other Decembers. Now, yesterday, if we would have stopped the month, we would have taken first place for the warmest December ever on record. But because we had a little cooler day yesterday, we did slide back a little bit more in those rankings, and we're now in second place if we would stop today. One more day to go, and with highs in the teens, we're likely to fall even more on that ranking, hoping to hold on to one of the top 5 spots. So our almanac shows the average high temperature of 24 degrees. It's going to be another day where we're below that, ending with a high temperature of 19 degrees today. Now, a few clouds are starting us off, but all of us will look at sunshine later on.
Thank you, Cindy. Doing it might get it done quickly, earn a few dollars to spend on a beer at the game. I don't know.
It's amazing what people will do to get inside of Lambeau, and that might be one of them.
There you go. And if you're going to that game this weekend, or if you're going anywhere today, you want to bundle up.
It is pretty cold out there, honestly. One of our coldest days, well, as we just talked about, in 10 months. March 5th was the last time that we saw a temperature at or below the teens, and it was 9 degrees on that day for a high temperature. We won't be that cold. We're going to be in the teens today. But it's been a while since we've been there. So right now, as we take a live look outside, it's pretty brisk up there, 10. I want you to pay attention to those feels-like temperatures, though. They are really quite low. We are at 2 is what it feels like at Austin, Albert Lee, 1 below Rochester, 8 below at Owatonna, even just further to our west where their temperatures are cooler, it is 13 below. And as we talked about before, there's a bit of a discrepancy across the area of temperatures. Warmer off to the east because we hung on to clouds overnight, which tends to help us keep warmer temperatures overnight. It is clear off to the west, which of course is where it is also cooler temperatures. There you see that with our satellite and radar cloud line now past I-35, continuing to move move eastward. We will eventually see some sunshine, but I do expect it to hang on to Rochester, Preston, Decorah's area just a little bit longer. Here at 9 o'clock, it is already showing on Storm Tracker that cloud line's pushed off to the east. We have just this little tiny pocket of clear skies that will sit under, and then clouds start to return again late this evening. They will be around for midnight as we end 2015. Speaking of that, your New Year's Eve forecast, it is also cold. Cover up that glam. I think that's the only thing that I can tell you as you're heading out, and maybe if you're just going to go out to join some parties late tonight. 8 degrees as midnight comes along, and that wind chill will be about 6 below. So we've entered into a totally new pattern since earlier this week when we picked up that big winter storm. Jet stream is now to our south, and it stays that way all week long. So when we have something like this, our weather pattern goes quiet. We've definitely seen that, and a little cooler than what we've seen obviously through December. Our temperatures are more seasonable, but today is going to be our coldest day at 19 degrees. And again, that sunshine starting to come around later on for all of us. So highs mostly in the teens across the area, a little bit cooler off to the west, of course, because you folks are just starting off cooler this morning. 21 for our New Year's Day, nice and sunny. We're going to continue with that sunshine through much of the forecast and then do a slow warm up back to 30 degrees by Tuesday, but not a thing happening on that 7-day forecast.
Well, a calm way to ring in the new year.
Yeah, good way to look at it.
All right, thanks, Cindy. And still to come in our next half hour.